We actually did it. But we kind of followed a lot of the things we did yesterday. So we went to Papa John's. We ordered the same exact thing. So we kind of followed some of the things. Zaxby's wasn't open at the time when the kids had to eat.
Well, the little school they could, I guess, right? You guys finally do this. You talked about it yesterday about how much you've been through. Describe what is going on right now in your head. And
you know, they said players win the games, coaches lose the games. And these kids deserve all the credit. I just try to manage everything. I'm really happy for Zeke and Lulu. Those kids stuck through all the adversity, stuff that the school and the community went through, and they believed in our vision. And we saw ourselves here if we ever got a chance to play in it. So I'm just happy for these kids.
You guys don't even have a gym to play in. I mean, a lot of people across the state probably don't even know that you play, down the road at Old Hyman Gym and stuff this year. The process of getting to this point, I guess, what kind of joy do you feel with all the, I guess, gauntlet of
we've tried to stay in the present moment. We really have. I mean, we have had quite the journey, but we just tried to get the kids to live in the precious moment. And that's what the kids did. They didn't listen to everything that was going on around us. Like I said, schools tried to, take our players and mislead them with bad information. But we just told the kids to stay the course. And we saw ourselves here. We saw ourselves in this position. And like I said, I'm happy for the players. They deserve all the credit.
What about Miss Whitaker, on her, what she's done?
She's the best. I love her to death. I love Miss Whitaker. And all these kids love Miss Whitaker. She does a lot for me, these kids. And she's like a mom to all of us.
What about just doing this in fashion? Came in and really sent made a statement today.
To be honest, I think a lot of this credit should go to Owen County, and I'll tell you why. Because the Murray and Owen County was a war yesterday. It was a war. And I think Murray was really tired from competing against Owen County in the big kid. And I think it made our job a little easier to play against Murray today. But they're an excellent team. They're well coached. And I really believe they were worn out today.
What's going through your head when Umar steps up the line the first time in the fourth quarter? You guys are up to make 10, and he sinks those perfect form.
Well, I wasn't surprised. He's a good free throw shooter, so I wasn't surprised. I like to tell you what, Umar can make free throws. So he's not like Shaq or DeAndre Jordan. Umar can make free throws.
Well, what about Malik hitting a three, pulling up and hitting a three?
Now that's a different story. I don't know what he was thinking. We told the kids to play with freedom and have fun, but as he shot it, I was saying no, 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 and when it went in, I said yes. So that was just good coaching on my part.
Fourth game in 4 days, and you all came out and shot 46% from the floor, which is pretty impressive after a long dueling, especially after a Newport Central Catholic game that you all played.
Well, up until today, we weren't shooting the ball very well. We were relying on our defense. But today, we were able to get out and run and get out in transition, and the guys did a good job of finishing today. So, like I said, the credit goes to them.
If there's one thing you haven't said yet, and that you want people to know at home, what would that be right now?
Just accept us. Just accept these kids. They're a part of that community. They love Eastern Kentucky, and I just wish they would, accept these kids.
Ajenee, I heard, caught a moment, in the game, you're on defense and you're facing Dwayne, and you're just, let's go, boy, let's go. I mean, it seemed like you guys were really locked in, and I feel like, they were tired, but that was a big part of why they struggled too. I mean, it seemed like you guys were really up to play on both sides of the court.
Our coach told us we got to play defense and rebound, and that's going to win us a championship. Offense wins games, so that's what we did. I went out there and played the best defense I could, help my team win the championship.
Lulu, you were having a lot of emotion after the game, rightfully so. You were crying. There's only 2 seniors on this team, I believe, with you and Zeke. I guess, what does it mean to you that this is finally, because you've been here for 4 years. So you've been through a lot of stuff yourself, even when you were here in 2014. What goes through your mind now that you finally did it?
It's a great feeling. Being here for 4 years, in 2014, coming up short and coming back. We wasn't in it last year. Coming back this year, had the mindset. We knew we wasn't in the Sweet 16, the big Sweet 16. So this was our Sweet State tournament. This was our goal. This is the only thing we were reaching for. And me and my team came together. Even though I lost my grandmother, they still had my back, and we still came together and we accomplished our goals.
Who would you say this was for? Because, family, but you have your Cordia family too.
To be honest, this is for everybody. All the supporters, Lodge Creek, Miss Alice, Rhodes, Coach Hurt, my teammates, and my grandma. That's it.
What do you, why has it been so challenging for, you mentioned folks back home accepting, what has been the challenge there?
Just embrace these kids. Just embrace them. They live in that community. They're from that community. They embrace these kids. And that's all. That's all we ask, just to embrace them.
And how do you, knowing this is your Sweet 16, the rest of the season from here on, how do you keep that?
We live in the moment. We got to get ready for the next game. They know that. They know that. This is, we'll celebrate and then we'll get ready for the next game. And that's the way we approach it.
Tournament MVP, that's pretty cool. A lot of talk around you throughout the tournament that I heard just people, man, that Nelson kid's really got some game and stuff. What are you feeling right now? I mean, you're a junior, so you'll probably be back and all that, so you will be back. What's your feeling right now about this team?
I'm just happy. We saw something that we wanted to get, and we got it. I'm happy for Zeke and Lulu because for 4 years he was fighting to get this, and we finally got it.
And speaking of that, I didn't mention this to Coach Rhodes. I really want to get something from you guys. I've only been around Cordia for 3 or 4 years, but it seemed like this team, not to take away from the other teams that you guys had, unselfish, did not care, didn't jack up threes. You yourself were driving in the paint. I was like, I'll take this shot. I'm not worried about jacking up threes. And you got good performance out of Ramon. Zeke hit a couple good threes today that were big-time shots, so you got that production. But just let's talk about how unselfish this team is. Explain it.
Well, Coach, he wanted us to compare ourselves to Golden State Warriors because they're a very unselfish team. So we use a lot of their quotes of being unselfish, and that's how we try to play. We're playing loose.
First appearance this week. Little bright. All right, Zeke. Well, we know Lulu and you are the only seniors. So what goes through your mind now that you got this big old trophy taken back to Lodge Creek?
Man, that was the goal from the beginning. We knew they took us out of the last tournament. We tried to appeal it. We tried to do everything we could, but they wouldn't let us back in. So we took this, and this was our goal. Sweet 16. This was ours.
You heard me ask, or talk about that with Anthony a little bit about just the team effort. I should probably ask Lulu this, but you can answer this too. You've been around here, so is this the best team you played? It may not be the most talented, but is it the best? How would you describe your team?
Yeah, I mean, the teams in the past, we had a ton of talent. There's been talent through here, but the thing that's different this year, man, it's just nothing but love on this team. There was division. We've had, it's been crazy, but passing's contagious. You give the ball to someone, the next play, we give it right back to you. So we just try to get everybody in the game. We love each other. We stick together. We did it.
And their coach said that a couple guys that had been making shots all year, like you and Ramon, hit shots today in the league. What were you feeling out there when you were hitting those shots? You're like, okay, I got this. You hit big free throws last night, but
hey, I guess I was saving it up all year because I couldn't get them to fall. I couldn't get them to fall all year, so I guess I was saving them up, throwing them up.
There you go, Coach. You got anything else you want to say?
No, let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here. All right, let's not.
All right.